Hi, everybody. Hello. My name is Katie Vandermeer, and I am teaching your class this semester. I'm making this welcome video for both CIS 234 and CIS 235 because a lot of the things that we do in these classes, a lot of the information that I want to talk to you about this first week is the same. So CIS 234 is Windows Server Administration 1 and 235 is Admin 2. So if you're in, this will be helpful for those of you who are in Admin 1 because you can see what you'll be doing next semester, kind of get an idea of that. And a lot of like I said, a lot of this is just generic Blackboard information that's the same with both of these courses and the same with our test. So to begin with, first day of the semester, welcome everybody. It's sure a lot easier taking classes online than it is downtown dealing with parking. So we have it easy in that respect. But the bad part is we don't get to see other human beings unless you are sitting down on campus working. We are running our class from Tuesdays to Tuesdays. So in the past, if you've had my classes, I've done them all over the place. Monday to Monday, Saturday to Sunday, all the Fridays to Fridays even. But this semester, I decided I'm going to give Tuesday to Tuesday a shot. Primarily, I found that on Monday and Tuesday with my schedule, I work from home. And I have, that gives me Monday to get things ready for you guys on Tuesday. And in the past, I was always a little bit late on doing that. So I think it'll work better for my schedule. And then hopefully it works out for your schedule. Plus, with both of these classes, I'll be posting material ahead of time. We have a lot of things that we're going to cover this semester, but you can work ahead if you want. It won't be you have to wait until the Tuesday morning for a new unit, although this week you will. I am going into surgery tomorrow for a health issue I've been having all summer long, and I cannot wait. It's August 29th. Your class starts tomorrow on the 30th, and that's when I go in for surgery. So that was the first available that they could get me in, and I just can't wait anymore. So I'll be off the rest of the week, but I'll eventually, after I come out of the fogginess of this event, I'll eventually check my email and I'll email or I'll reply to any questions you have next week, early next week, and I'll post announcements then as well. So this week is pretty light as far as what you need to do. I'll explain that what you need to do for our class in this video, and then I'll post an announcement as well that you've probably already seen. But it's pretty light for what you need to do. And then starting next week, we'll pick up with a pretty heavy pace. It's a 3-credit class, so we look at that as like 3 hours in class, 3 hours out of class. So we're not in class, but we would have like 3 hours going over the material and then 3 hours doing labs. So I would estimate that you're going to spend somewhere between 3 and 6 hours a week on this course. Probably more on if you do things right, not just run through them real quick, if you spend the actual time, more on the heavier side. So 5 to 6 hours, 5 to 7 hours is probably what I would set aside to do every week to do this course. And that's what you would do in a normal class. In an online class, you have to be in control of your own time. So make sure you set aside enough time for this. We have a lot of lessons that we're going to cover. The chapters are called lessons, so I listed them as lessons instead of units. But we have a lot of lessons that we're going to cover in this book that we're using. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. So every week we double up. We'll have two lessons, 2 chapters that we're going to cover. So let's start. I have both of these classes open, and you'll see that the only thing that's changing is the titles, Admin 1 to Admin 2. Um, so a lot of them are all the same. And I just want to I want to start by going through the things that I have out here in Blackboard for you already. So announcements. I use announcements all of the time. And when I post an announcement, I check this box that says send as email, and it sends it to your email as well. So make sure, especially in these online courses, that you're checking your student email. In Blackboard, mine is a little different because I'm in a preview mode, but you could go up here to the top banner and there's the thing that says student email. Make sure you check your student email all of the time. I'll post probably, at minimum one message a week, sometimes more than that, just reminders of what to do, things, questions that come up, things that you might need help on. Under the professor link is information on me. I know a lot of you guys, so that helps us when we are taking this course to understand how you learn and you understand how I teach. But I looked at the class list. In 234, Server Admin 1, we have a pretty full class, but it's a lot of you guys that I've met already through other networking courses. So I'm happy you're back. And this is the start of the Microsoft Server classes we have. So in 234, a full class, we don't know anything about server administration yet. And then in 235, I have a pretty small class. We just got this class out there at the end of the semester. You can't enroll for 235 until you take 234. And a lot of you who are in 235 are either university students like at Davenport or Ferris, and they accept this class for credit, or you're finishing out your degree here at GRCC. So you'll need to take both of these classes eventually if you're just starting in 234. But a little bit less room in there. There's still seats open in 235, but I think registration closes today. So it'll be a nice, cozy classroom electronically, or virtually, I should say. But in the professor link, my point there was that I know a lot of you, which is good, and you know me, which I think is good as well. Here is how you can contact me. Email address right up here, kvandermeer@grcc.edu. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. I always have my phone nearby. It's right here. And I check it all of the time. Probably too much, and I usually respond right away if it's something quick. But if it's something that requires me to have to sit down at the computer and look at a server, I will have to do that. Usually within a day I'll get back with you. So best way is an email, but you can also text me if you want. Here's my cell number, or call. And then if you call my office number, that forwards to my cell, so you can leave a message there if I don't answer, or you can text my cell phone number if you have a quick question that I can answer. I prefer not like late at night or anything. I usually turn my phone off, but weekends are fine if I'm working or around. If it's not going on, I'll usually text you right back. I have a website, katievandermeer.com. You can go and check out, and our department website has a lot of information out there. And then I have a Facebook page, Katie GRCC. If you're on Facebook, follow my page, please. Just like it, because I have a lot of things that go on at the department level and at the college level that you may need to know as a student. Internships I post, a lot of interesting things. Like, hey, we got a new class running. Make sure you sign up for it. Just, a lot of things related to our department. Like, Professor Rosam and I did a CCNA training this summer, so there's a picture of us doing that. And I went to a CompTIA conference this summer as well. That's me and the author of our textbook, one of our textbooks, and just different things that are going on. So go out to Facebook, like my page, please. I appreciate that. YouTube, I have a YouTube page. You can follow me. My YouTube page is Katie Vandermeer, GRCC, or you could just click this link here and follow.
Hello, my name is Katie Vandermeer.
Follow me on that because that's where I post all of these videos. So I'll post lecture videos for both courses, and if you happen to want to check out any of my other course material, the videos for those are out there in YouTube as well. I'll post my office hours in this My Weekly Schedule and also on my website. So if you need to meet with me, I'm usually on campus on Wednesdays and Fridays, but I'm going to hold some office hours online where we could use like Google Hangouts to connect. And I'll also have office hours during the week that we can schedule a time if we need to. The only thing with my posted office hours, sometimes I'm in the classroom because if you've ever come into my office, they're so small. Like my cubicle is half the size of my desk here at home. So I work most of the time in this atmosphere environment. This is my home office, which is pretty great because I have a window, which I don't have at the college, and I have a mini fridge, which is awesome because I can keep Diet Coke cold, and I just have everything I need right here at home. Unfortunately, or fortunately, our office space is really small at the college, but we are a technology department, and I always said I could teach anywhere, just give me a computer and I'm ready to go. So I am. That's what I do. A little bit about my teaching style and me personally and what I've been up to. You can read through that if you don't know anything about me and you want to know more about me, check that out. And then my weekly calendar, this is where I'll post office hours, and then you'll see, like, if I have a meeting or something going on, you'll see that posted when I'm on campus or not. I don't have it populated at this point, but that's in the professor link, and the same with my weekly schedule is out there. So if you're on campus and you go, oh my gosh, is Katie here? Where is she? I need to talk to her about something. You can check that out there. Calendar of due dates. This is our due dates, and this, again, for both classes. You'll see it structured the same way. We're going to run Tuesday to Tuesday, and in CIS 235, Windows Server 2, we have 22 lessons that we're going to cover. In 234, I think to change this, but we only have 19. But that's a lot of material. So you'll see we have lessons. We have about 2 of them a week. So far, I only have lesson 0 posted at the time of this video, but I'll have the next few weeks of material posted by the end of the week so that you can work ahead if you want. Because of my surgery and because of some DreamSpark issues, which we'll talk about in a little bit, we're going to do our server installations in probably week 2 or 3, not this week of the courses. So there's our schedule of due dates. Now when you are looking at your grades too, and this again isn't fully populated yet because like this is Windows Server 235. I don't have all of the material posted. I have some basic things, quizzes, some lessons, some transgender assignments. But you'll see due dates in here for each of the assignments, and that's helpful because you can say, oh goodness, lesson 0, discussion board is due on the 6th. I need to finish that, so you can even go right in here somewhere, I believe. What's it out there? I thought you could click on that and it will take you right to that assignment, so that maybe it's because I'm in student preview mode, but it should take you right to that assignment so that you can go ahead and do it from there, or you can go to wherever that is. But you see the due dates here, and then you'll see in the calendar of due dates, you'll see them here. So week beginning August 30th, The first Tuesday, I need to do lesson 0, and that's the same in both courses. So do lesson 0, and all of that is due September 6th at 11:59 p.m. So all of our material is due every week, Tuesday at midnight, basically. Now, a note about that, I don't have the assignments go away. So if you miss that deadline, you can still submit things past that, but you will probably or potentially be marked late. It depends on how late your assignments are. So make sure you follow the due dates as best as you can and don't get too far behind because we have a lot of material to cover. So you'll see, okay, when it's the week of September 13th, we're going to do lessons 3 and 4, and those are due September 20th at 11:59. So you can follow those right there. And plus, I'll post announcements. In the assignments tab, this is where you'll see all of the lessons. Right now, and I'm in student preview mode, so I see what you see. Right now, we have lesson 0. If I exit, let me exit out of this real quick. So you just kind of give you an idea of, I don't know if it will. This is my mode. You can see I have the rest of the lessons set up in some of the basic assignments. We can see just the vast majority of them that we do. Now, I do keep that in mind when I'm planning actual assignment work, so I try to stick to that, not more than 6 hours that you'll be spending on the class to complete the work. Sometimes there'll be a little bit more hours, and sometimes there'll be a little bit less, but this is a standard 3-credit course, so you're going to be spending a fair amount of time working on it. But right now, I have all of those not available at this particular time because I want to, it's not ready to begin those yet, but I'll post them soon. When it's time to do an assignment, you're going to go inside of there. I'm going to come back to lesson 0 and the details of that at the end of this video. So right now we have a discussion board link here. I don't use too many discussion boards. There's a few more that are in 235 than there are in 234, but I'm not sure if I'll assign those yet. The first discussion board, Unit 0, is where you can introduce yourselves to each other and to me. I see some people have already posted in there, which is awesome. I won't go in there right now, so I can honor your privacy, but I will use discussion boards here and there. I don't do a lot of grading with them. There's only, a few things. I don't know. I don't find that great of value in discussion boards, I guess. If they're used properly, perhaps, or if they're used extensively, it just takes a lot of time for you guys to track and monitor it. But we do some discussion board stuff. So it's in there. It's not a large part of your grade, but they're there. We already talked about the grades link. The syllabus and the grading rubrics. Let me just jot over to it on both courses. Oh, see, that took me out of the student preview mode. Let me try to go back into that. Okay, the syllabi for them, the syllabus for your course is here, syllabus and grading. It tells you the basic college policies and the basic information about the course. So in Windows Server 1, this is the installation, and then Server 2, well, let's go out, is more of administration of servers. So a server or Windows 1 class follows the certification for the 7410 on installing and configuring Windows Server, and then CIS 235 is the 7411 on administering Windows Server. So it's the continuation of a 3-part exam to get your MCSE, MCSA. It's the start of your MCS. It's the MCSA certification and the start of your MCSE certification. You can use these exams for both of the certs. So, industry speaking, it's a great certification to have. You're going to be very employable if you have your MCSA. The difference between the A and the E is administration, which is easier to get. You're creating users, group policies, working with Active Directory, setting up user accounts, and managing the environment. And then the E for MCSE is engineering. So you're looking at the bigger picture of the network, making sure things are administered properly on the server, like DHCP configurations, remote desktops, things a little bit more in depth than your basic user of the MCSA configurations. So down here in the syllabus, you can look at the student learning incomes or outcomes, not incomes, student learning outcomes, and see how they differ. So what you will learn in one class and what you learn in the next. And we'll talk about the textbooks in a second and the required materials technology-wise. But these courses flow they're meant to flow right one after the other. We'll look at required materials in a minute. Attendance policies. So one thing that you need to know for attendance in an online class is that we grade attendance, I don't grade on attendance, but we have to submit attendance verifications. And we do that based on whether or not you turn in your assignment or your assignments for a particular week. So in order to get verified for financial aid, you have to turn in your work. You have to be present. So we do 2 verifications. When you get verified, then you get your financial aid distribution money or what's left. If you don't get verified, then you don't get your financial aid. So make sure that, especially if you're a financial aid student, if you want your financial aid, if you need your financial aid, and obviously you do, you need to be doing your coursework. So that's how we deal with attendance in online courses. Late policies, I mentioned that I don't have assignments disappear after the deadline, but I will take off late points. So make sure you turn them in on time. If it's a day or so late, I'm usually flexible and I won't take off late points. But if you're several weeks late on things, points will be deducted. College policies. Standard policies you'll see in every syllabus, but I want to point out a couple of things. Student email. We need to communicate with your student email account and not your Gmail or Hotmail or whatever other account that you might have. If possible. I mean, it's not like I won't reply to an email that comes from your Gmail account, but the official communication policy is that we need to communicate with our student email and my work email so that we can keep records of things. And also we know that those student emails won't get blocked through spam blockers. So make sure you use your student email account. And that's the email that's connected with your account from the college. So when we send you mass emails, you need to be checking that while you're a student here. The next policy, disability support services. This is especially important in online courses because I don't see you, I don't know you, I don't know if you have a disability that we need to make accommodations for. And this is something that as an accessibility advocate that I'm really passionate about, and I want to ensure that you have all of the right resources that you need to succeed. But you need to register with Disability Support Services and then need to let me know what I can do to ensure that you're ready to succeed or set up and have everything you need to succeed properly. You gotta let us know so we can help you. Disability Support Services is in the Student Center. I know there's some construction, so they might not be at this room, but here's their telephone number, and you can check onto your CC's main page. Make sure this is different than if you're new to college. You have to initiate this process, so we're not going to come find you. You need to initiate letting us know about your disability so that we can have accommodations set up. Couple other important policies are listed here. One of our new policies is Title IX reporting. We are a Title IX reporting. I am a reporting agent. So if I hear of issues that that fall in that Title IX violations, I have an obligation legally through my college to report that, which is very good. I think it's a good policy. But remember that, just so many things. You start talking, things happen, but we have a Title IX reporting policy here at the college. So if you have any questions on that, or if you want to talk to anybody, we have counseling available to you at 3900. And then if you have any questions about the Title IX policy itself, we have a coordinator number that's listed there as well. We are responsible, like I said, to report anything that we hear that might be in violation of Title IX. Anything else is listed there. Now that grade breakdown I'm going to change a little bit, but I'll post that once I get all the assignments out there. Your grading rubrics are in here. There's some videos that Professor Rosema made on how just exactly where we gather your grade from, where it comes from, and you can look at those rubrics when you get your assignments if you have questions. Oh, by the way, these marked reviewed things, those are just so you can kind of keep track of what you've completed. Like, okay, I read the syllabus, I'm going to mark that. I looked at the rubrics, I'm going to mark that. And it kind of helps me to see what you're doing as well. All right, let's look at the required materials. I'm going to pause just 1 second. You won't notice it, but I'm going to pause so I can grab my copies of the book, which is just right behind me. And where is that little pause button? Oh, we're at 27 minutes recording. I'm about a half hour from being finished, but I'll try to keep talking fast. So 1 sec. Okay, so the textbook, required materials. I think I'm back on and you guys can hear me. Just make sure we're still moving, can still see me. Okay. Go down there. Required materials. So, hey, good news. We moved to free textbooks in a lot of our classes. Well, Professor Rosema and I are trying this. And as a networking student, that's good for you because we get to save some money. And who doesn't like money? Plus, textbooks are stupidly expensive. This semester, I moved our 234 and 235 for the first time to free textbooks that are offered from the MOAC, the Microsoft Official Academic Course Curriculum. So the stuff that we're using is curriculum right from Microsoft, and it's what they use. Here's the first one, or it's the second one. Whoops. Something else. It's what they use when you go to, say you go to New Horizons and you take this course and you pay a couple of $1,000. This is the curriculum that is officially from Microsoft. It's the best. I think it's a good, I don't know if I would say the best because I was happy with what I used last year. And if you're in 235, you used a different book last year. When you took 234. But don't worry, what you learned in there, it'll help you and you'll be set to go with what you have learned, what you need to learn for this class. So it's an easy transition. But this is the official curriculum that Microsoft recommends, and it's what we're using now. There's something called the Imagine Academy, and the state of Michigan has paid for, they're pushing this MOAC course curriculum, so they actually have paid for the books, the material electronically, for us. So it's paid for through the state of Michigan, and all college professors have to do is use it. And that's what I'm doing. So we have free stuff. In the required materials links that you have in Blackboard, if you go down to textbook information, in both of them, both of the courses, it's laid out the same way. You'll have a link to the PDF, and you can click on there and download the PDF of the book. I use Adobe Reader, and I also use Nitro, which is another PDF editor and reader. But you can download and create a copy of your textbook electronically. Now, in the Server 2 course, they have bookmarks that are set up already, which is super helpful. So what I did is I downloaded the books and I saved them as my copy, and then I can highlight things. You'll notice like I have different things not too far, but I have you know, just like if you're studying with your book in a highlighter, you can highlight different parts or different things that you want to point out to yourself. You can add comments, add notes, you know, however you want to learn. But you can do it electronically. And then I save that as I read through the chapter. I save that as in my highlighted book. In the Server 1 class, for some reason, they didn't add bookmarks unless I downloaded the wrong. Oh, this is the right copy. This is the one I have, but they didn't include bookmarks. See how these bookmarks are here, and it makes it easy to go to chapter 4 or chapter 5 or chapter 6, or lesson 6, or lessons, I should say, not chapters. But they don't have those in the 234 book. What I started to do on my copy is I added comments, so when I want to navigate to each section, I can navigate. Or, you know, like lesson 1, installing servers, or if I want to go to lesson 2, I added a comment. In the PDF reader, all you have to do is say that I'm going to go ahead to lesson 3. If I go through this and make a comment in each of the lessons, I can throw my file out there, or maybe one of you guys can do that, because you have got way more time than I do. I'm going in, maybe, I don't mean to speak for you guys, but I'm going into the hospital here in less than 24 hours, so I don't have too much time right now. But if someone wants to go through in 234 and you know, just make a comment on each of these lessons. I want to delete this one though. Then when you save it, I just saved mine as my commented book, and then you can at least have comments so you can go from chapter to chapter, like you can in this book, which already has bookmarks. Or if one of you guys have the full Adobe, the editor, you can add bookmarks. I don't have that on this computer, so I can't add bookmarks, but somebody out there will figure it out. Somebody will, in 234, download the book and add some bookmarks for us, will ya? And send it to me, and then I'll post it in Blackboard. I know you'll do that. You guys are great. But anyway, here's our textbooks, and they're free. Yay! Free books. Transcender, this is the only thing you have to buy. Oh, let me talk about the book real quick before we go back to Transcender. If you want to spend $161, you can buy a printed copy of the textbook. I do find it hard to read online sometimes. I'm not going to lie. I read books for pleasure, like my books that I read that aren't textbooks, I read those online on my phone or on my iPad. But I have to read textbooks in print, and I don't know. It helps me to focus. I think, and it just depends on how you learn. So I you can buy a copy. It costs you $171. I actually printed mine out, which isn't smart to do because except I don't pay for printing at the college and you do. But I have my printed copy here. And then I have it just marked, each of the lessons so that I can go through and see how read it on paper. But you'll figure out a way, unless you have $170 that you just want to burn. But you'll figure it out a way how to learn how to do that online, because that's a pretty heavy copy of the book. But you can buy it if you want, and I gave you those links in Blackboard if you want to purchase a printed copy. There is also a companion site for each of the textbooks, and you can go out to those companion sites. There are, let's see, what is in the companion site? We'd have to look around. Resources. There's some lab worksheets, any corrections to the book, and then the lesson requires the viewer. So it gives you the lab worksheets. So you can check those out if you want. I'm not saying do those labs or anything like that, but there's a student companion site for each of those. Here's just more information on the free book. If you wanted, through the publisher, it's $170 or $60. Buy it online for $125, or download it for free, and you save a bunch of money. Okay, the next piece of software we're going to use is Transcender. Transcender is our test prep software, and there are 3 exams for the MCSA. They are the 7410, 7411, and 7412. In our curriculum at the college, we only have room for 2 classes, unfortunately. So we're doing the 410 and the 411. And then if you go on to if you want to complete the course, you can do 412 on your own maybe, or you can take those courses at Davenport or Ferris. They both, I think, Davenport does. I know Ferris offers them, but of course we're a great school here at GRCC. We just don't have room in our 60 credit degree to offer all 3 of those, plus the CCNA courses. So those are the exams that we're studying for, and to help us study for that, we use Transcender. X-Voucher. X-Voucher is the tool that lets us run Transcender. So you have to buy that. I'll have links on how to, I think most of you have probably used Transcender before at this level, how to use it, how to get the best use out of the product. But you can go to the bookstore or call the bookstore and buy or order it online through the bookstore at the college. It's only offered at the college for a low price of $50.50. If you go anywhere else, you are not going to save 70%. So go through the bookstore to get it. And then for CIS 234, you want the 7410. And for CIS 235, you want the 7411 exam. In this link right here called Transcender Information, there's links on logging in, how to activate, any problems that you have either with our bookstore. I don't know if she wants me to share this, but if you have problems with our bookstore or problems with Transcender or problems with X-Voucher, here's the tech support for any of the all 3 of those. And then you have to disable pop-ups. And then I created a couple of videos on how to use Transcender to best benefit from it. And then what is Transcender? So in this link under required materials, Transcender X Voucher info, there's a ton of stuff in there on how to get it working and how to get connected to it once you buy it. It's not that it's difficult. The only time I've had problems with students logging in is when they're not disabling pop-ups. A few times we've had some problems with the bookstore, and a few times we've had some X voucher problems, but not many. If you've already used it in the past, you already have an X voucher account. So once you buy your code, and you get your email, you can log into X voucher and add that code for the new exam, and it should come up for you. So all the information for Transcender is in there. You need to buy, I already mentioned which one you need to buy, and then to get it running or activated, just follow this information here in Transcender X Voucher info. We will use that the second week of class. Oh, yeah, the second week, because we're going to use, well, I'll explain when we go back to the assignments at the end. Let me make a note. Back to assignments. We are going to use Transcender next week already, so make sure you go and buy that very soon. Since we don't have a textbook, hopefully that's not a problem. If there are any problems, let me know, and you might just have to turn it in a little bit later, that part of the lab a little bit later. So X Voucher, Transcender, I've learned last year was the first year we used it, and I learned that success with certification, and this product comes with repetition. So the more we use it, the more knowledgeable we are, and we're ready to pass our test. So we're going to use it earlier, and we're going to use it more often. So buy it soon. If you, like I said, or I started to say, if you can't buy it right away and you need another 2 weeks or so, or maybe you need until financial aid money is dispersed, that's okay. Let me know that though, and then you can go back and turn those assignments in once you get it, but don't wait very long. The other two things we need is VM Workstation and Windows Server 2012 Release 2, and both of those are available through DreamSpark on the Hub. So there is a link right here. I think that's the same one that we got going on over here. So there's a link in here on the Hub, and also some video instructions from Professor Rosema on how to use it. But on the Hub is a free web store that allows us to download a lot of Microsoft products, including Windows Server. Now, in the past, you've probably used DreamSpark for downloading virtual systems like VMware, or operating systems like Windows 7 and then Windows 10, which then became free. But you can use it for a lot of Microsoft products for free. This year we have a new. In fact, let me check. I had texted our secretary before. Yep, she texted me back. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, she's already imported everybody for this semester. So our secretary takes the class list, imports them into DreamSpark, and if you go to your email, you should have an email like this that says, I hope this email, blah, 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 DreamSpark accounts. Check for that email. It gives you the login information, and it tells you that if you've had a CO course, actually it should be a CIS course before, you already have an existing account. So you just do the forgot my password if you can't remember. If you're new to CIS courses, use the register tools to create your account, the register tool icon. So you have that email in your student email account already. So go there, check that out, and then you want to go to that link that she gave us, which is also here in Blackboard. On the hub, a direct link to the login screen right there. DreamSpark on the hub is the same thing. And by the way, on September 7th, 1 week, they're changing their name again from DreamSpark to Microsoft Imagine. So they changed their name more than Elizabeth Taylor does, for Pete's sake. She doesn't change her name, she changes husbands, but they're changing their name. So DreamSpark on the hub, Microsoft Imagine, all the same thing. And this is where we can get VM Workstation for free, and we can get Windows Server for free. We want, for both classes, we want to get Server 2012 Release 2 Data Center. I think, let's search through that. Yes, it's Data Center. Okay, so we go to that link, and let's see. Let's just go. I got knocked off. I was signed in, but I got knocked off. Now there's up here, if you don't have it down here, there's there we go. There's the sign in, and then there's the register. So if you already have an account, sign in. If you can't remember your password, follow this link. If you're new to it, register. So you should already be in there as a student, but you have to complete your registration. So that if you have any problems, let us know. But our secretary added you already. So register if you're new, or do the forgot password link if you've had and been into DreamSpark on the hub before. So I already have an account. I'm just going to sign in. So I have my username and my password in there. Thank goodness, because I don't remember what my password is. And now I have this area, faculty, staff. You might just have students, but it'll be the same products. Let's see if it's all the same. Let's look first under, let me see. Let's look first for VMware. I don't know what the newest version is. It looks like Workstation 12. So through that link, you can see VMware. I want to download and buy for free VM Workstation 12. Choose my platform. I'm on a Windows system. It requires 64-bit. Okay. Be able to place this order again in 12 months after the initial order. If you receive this offering is valid. Okay, so if you've downloaded it before, look at your history, and I think I actually have. I think I already have gotten it. Okay, error. Why? Well, I don't think that should come up for you. I think I've ordered it before, so what I can do is look at my account and look at my past orders. Whoops, shouldn't show you this. Oh no, that doesn't show any things. Oh, see, here it is. So I've already downloaded it. I can go in here and I've already bought it, but it was for free. You see, so I can just go in there, download it again. Install it, and then when I go view details, it will tell me what the codes are for it. So some things you can't get 10, 20 copies of. They're all still registered copies. So if you have it already, but you need to install it again, like I did, I got a new computer this year, so I needed to re-download it and then reinstall it. You can do that by looking at your orders. So let's see. So we have to. You need to get Workstation 2000. I'm sorry, VM Workstation 12. I'll make a note of that so I can put it in the announcement. VMware 2012. It's the newest one. And it tells you what it is. Pick this platform, add it to the cart. And then we also want to get our server. I don't know if that is in Microsoft. Nope. Let's look under servers, maybe. And actually, I think we'll just search for it. Oh, here's one. My Windows Server 2012 R2. Release 2 is what you want. English. You can do a product search too. So Windows Server. Now, if you have a copy already, you can use that. Some textbooks had it in there if you had from before, but you'll need a license key. And we're going to install this on multiple. We need to have a couple different servers in the virtual world, as you'll see, but you only need one download. And then we are going to do the 64-bit version for data center. And there are several, these are the list. So there's data center, enterprise, there's a essentials, there's different versions of Windows Server. And the one that we want is this one here. Data center with update. I wonder what is in this update. I'm going to do the 64-bit DreamSpark, and you could do this one here if you'd like. The difference probably is that the update is included. There was a patch or an update release to it. And if I download and install this one, the server will just say, do you want to do an update? And that's a chapter in our book anyway, or one that you've already done, so you could just do the update. But we need to add that to our cart as well. Add to our cart. Available. Okay, see, I've already ordered it the maximum number of times, but you haven't. I can go back and download my installation file. Okay. If anybody has any problems on the VMware, if it says something about that you're not, you should be able to. Must be a member of the student group. Oh, I'm not a member of the student group. And my subscription's not expired. So I'm not able to do that. That's my problem. But yours should work just fine. If there's any questions in downloading VMware or the server product, that server's under DreamSpark Premium servers, and then we need Windows Server 2012 Release 2. There is a Server 16, but it's not really in production very much yet. We're still primarily using Server 2012. Well, maybe I will add this one. I'm going to add the one with the update because I haven't gotten that yet. No, I can't. Okay, I've ordered limited to, oh, I can only order one or the other. Doggone you. But if you haven't downloaded it already, you should be fine. If you have and you don't have it, go back to my orders like I showed you and download it. Once you do the add to cart and you check out, there is let me throw there's a process where you use the download manager. I don't have it on here. To download these programs, and it downloads them as what kind of files does it download? You probably know. I can't think right now, but it downloads them as installation files, like ISOs. And then you can run, when we install our VM, we can run our system from there. When you download the file, let me look through my files real quick and see if I have it on here. I might have it on my laptop, probably. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have it on this computer that I'm working on right now. But once you download it, it has you go through a software installer, and follow the instructions for downloading it. Make sure you stay connected to the internet and while you're downloading it to your computer. So don't start the process and log off, because it takes quite a bit of time to download. These are huge, especially server is a huge file that you want to download. If you encounter problems downloading either one of those things, so VMware and the server, since I'll be in hospital or not available too much this semester or this first week, go to the discussion boards and post in this open forum. One of your students will probably know the answer, so say, this is what's going on, I need help, can you help me? And someone probably will be able to help. But if you're computer savvy, and I think at this point in your education, I hope you are, you can figure out the download and the installation process. Installation, I just mentioned, don't install, where were we? Did I close out of, on the hub? Oh, here it is. Don't install the server yet. You can install VM Workstation 12, but wait on the servers, because we need to follow certain installation instructions. Okay? Cool. Well, I want to talk about, let's see, resources. There's a ton of information here on the hub. Oh, Office and Education. If you want Office products, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and you want them for free, then you can get a free subscription to Office 365 while you're a student in our department. So follow this link. It's not required for this course, but if you're on a computer and you're not using Word, Microsoft Word or Excel, and PowerPoint, if you don't have those, get it for free while you're a student here, because it's a good deal, and also because it's used. You're expected to use it and know it in the field. So make sure you do that. Okay, I think I'm gonna end this welcome video. Well, no, I'm not. I'm gonna I'm gonna keep talking. There's other things here you can go through. But the last thing I want to do is tell you what to do for the first week. Lesson 0. This is what you need to do this week. I'm gonna go in here. You open up the folder. I have a warning. Scrolling is your friend. Make sure you scroll through everything so that you make sure you complete everything. In this folder, there's graded material. Make sure you got it. Okay. Oh, did I not have that? Oh, I do have that in there. Okay. What are we going to do in this unit? First thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure we log into DreamSpark on the hub, download newest VM Workstation, which is Workstation 12, and the data center version of server. Don't do any installations for now. I added this note that we have to wait, but the emails are done. So you can log into, you should be able to log into DreamSpark right away. or on the hub right away. Download a copy of the textbook and a PDF viewer. Like I mentioned, I suggested you get 2 copies, like a highlighted one or an edited one. You need to call or go to the bookstore and get Transcender for 235 at 7411, and for 234 at 7410. Make sure you go through this course tour folder and follow everything in there. So open this up. If you've done one of my classes before, it's pretty familiar. It just goes through everything that's in Blackboard. It's pretty quick. It's a tour of what we just did, basically. Complete the discussion board to introduce yourself. You can click here, and it'll launch you over to the discussion board, and you can read about other people and write your introduction. And then take this quiz here, Lesson 0 quiz. That is or Unit 0. It's called Lesson 0 quiz. I'll fix that. But it's a quick quiz on the components of everything that we just talked about. And that's not extra credit. I need to change that as well. There is a hidden extra credit in here. It's not very hidden, but that will go away if you miss the deadline on that one. So that's all you need to do for this first week. I'm going to post the next lessons by the end of the week, or actually it depends on how the surgery goes, but I'll post them pretty soon. Definitely before we start our lesson 2, or our week 2, which is going to cover lessons 2 and 3. But I want to say for both courses that we need to have some background information on what we're learning in this course. So even for Windows Server 2, for the 235 course, before we go into installing our servers, we're going to go through probably the first 3 or 4 chapters of our lessons in each class before we get to our VM and do our installations again, and then start doing some of these projects that are in here. So you'll notice in the book, I'm in 235 book, but a lot of when you're reading it says, okay, go through here. This is how you add an image file, how you do an installation, and these are things that we're going to do hands-on through VM and doing our server installations. But I want to get these terms in our head first. I want to get us back into the Microsoft, or introduced to the Microsoft way, what these things mean for both classes before we get to the hands-on. So like chapter 1 is installing server, chapter 2 is configuring server. For 234, we're going to read through this, take a quiz before we get to the hands-on part of the installation itself. It'll just make it easier. Like I said, we'll have some background information before we start the hands-on. So the first few lessons that I'll post will be Transcender and readings and quizzes. And then when we get into about lesson 3 or 4, I'm going to take those and go back, and that's when we'll do our installations. Okay? In both courses. So for 234, we need to start with fresh new installations, and then pick up with just all of these things that we don't know yet. All of the concept, all of the, we're going to do. This is why we need bookmarks in this one. We'll install it, we'll configure, we'll do local storage, file and share access. We'll do all of these things, but we're going to do, we're going to do some reading and quizzes first, and then go back and do our installation. And for 235, you've already done an installation, but you might not have it anymore. You might not be sure where you left it. So we're going to start our installation. We're going to create a new installation. And I'll walk you through that process again if you're not sure how to do it. Set up a new configuration. We'll go through probably the first 3 lessons, and then we'll go back and do our hands-on. So that's it. Thank you. I know that was long and a lot of information, but you needed something to do the first week. So go through the assignments, complete Unit 0. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a great first week of the semester, and I'll post announcements as soon as those next units are posted. If you see them there already, feel free to work ahead. But for now, we're going to just leave the unit lesson 0 out there for you. Have a great week. Thank you.